Welcome back. Red Boswell, President of IFPG. With COVID-19, franchise leaders respond. I'm joined today by a great franchise leader, Butch Mogavera. Butch is CEO of Boulder Designs. Welcome to the call today, Butch.
Thank you, Brad.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Hey, how are you and your family holding up during this time?
Everybody's good here. No health issues at all. Our business, or they sent us home, what is today, or a few days ago.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean, we're all fine. As long as we find some toilet paper, we're good.
You're down in Waco, Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So help us understand, what is Boulder Designs?
Boulder Designs, we're a company that builds, I guess you'd say, man-made rock items. We're the only solid rock manufacturers in the world that make things completely solid that'll last a lifetime via outdoor signage, benches, tabletops, headstones, fire pits, mailboxes, about anything you can think of that you've ever seen out of brick or stone. We make it for a fraction of the cost and with a lifetime warranty.
So how many franchisees approximate you have?
We're just under 200.
Okay. So how y'all faring as an organization through this crisis? You getting hit hard? Is it impacting you at all? What's it look like?
I'd be lying if I didn't say, we felt some impact on it. I've literally called every single franchise that I have. I just got done yesterday morning, and I was surprised at how many of them were, had a backlog of orders to do. Some of them were cleaning up their shop. They were making rocks for when the show bands lift. They'll be able to have some new stuff for the shows. They're calling on previous customers, and they're sending out a lot of proofs. We do a lot of proof marketing, where in about 5 minutes, if you gave me your address at your home or business, I could make a proof of a rock sitting in front of your business completely done, and we don't have to have any face-to-face contact. It's all done via Google Earth and Adobe Photoshop. So that's something that we've always done, and now I think some franchisees are taking a bigger advantage of that in these times.
Interesting. And
we're very proud of a lot of them.
Yeah, no joke. So any other technology that you're using that maybe a franchisor could learn about and take advantage of? He's getting some help from his right-hand woman.
Yeah, I'm listening to my daytime wife. We're doing some virtual discovery days, webinars, different things that we had some commercials that were almost done, and now those are finished up, so we can send those. We have commercials on selling franchises and commercials on selling product. So we went ahead and got the product ones done now, so the franchisees can send those to potential customers. Pretty nice commercials that are professionally done, and I'm very, very proud of those, and they can send those to customers. And we have one we're working on right now. We actually have two companies, Boulder Designs and Border Magic, similar companies, and we're getting both of those commercials done probably at the end of this week or first next week. So those can go out, just basically, acknowledging the virus situation and what we can do, and like to keep our guys working if we can, and give you a deal on get anything done now. While a lot of people aren't working, we're going to try to just continue working and not lay down.
Have you seen any franchisees actually picking up additional business perhaps during this time? Folks are at home and they realize.
That's exactly right. We had my son called. We're booked up pretty solid, so I don't want to say we don't need work. We always need work, but we're pretty good on work for the next month or two. But I did want my son, who me and him own a franchise here locally, and kind of a lead by example. So I had him get on the phone the other day and call several people, and 2 or 3 of them said, well, we're teachers and we're home right now, so we'd like to go ahead and get it done while we're home if we could. So that worked out real good. And then, a lot of people are retired, and this doesn't really affect them like it does the working class guy. So yeah. I told him, if you can remember any of those, call them and say, hey, we'll give you 10% off on these times. And a few of those said yes.
So you're going into your prospect database and really kind of churning it again and trying to hit some of those that maybe hadn't closed in the past. So
right.
Good good
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are willing and able to help in these times. There's good people out there, and some of them felt almost really good about able to help us. When we call, I don't want to say we're begging. We kind of are, but I don't care. But just say, hey, we need the work. We don't want to rely on government funds. We want to keep working, and if you can help us in any way, we'll contribute a little bit to that. And it's working out pretty well. And I've heard that a lot throughout the franchise system. A lot of the franchisees that say, no, we're booked up right now. We're busy, and we'll just keep on doing what we're doing, and but not just lay back and not try. Exactly. Very, very proud of a lot. I was surprised. They were helping me, believe it or not. They were lifting me up because I was concerned when I called them, were they going to be really, really worried? Some people lay down in these times and other people stand up and fight. And 98% of ours are more are fighting. And I'm very, very proud of them. And I always remember that, you can always know somebody's character when the chips are down, how they react and what they do. And people remember that. So it's funny. I started making little notes beside each name as I called them. And if they were really, really positive, I put 5 stars. And hell, I was going to run out of ink almost by the time I got done. I was just like, man, I can't believe how good these people are acting or reacting to this situation. And I can't express how proud I am of them. Very, very neat.
I'm totally with you. I'm doing these interviews. I'm calling a bunch of our franchisors and consultants and vendor members, but I'm also doing these interviews. And I'm thinking I'm going to call and be the encourager, and I get blessed way more than they bless.
Absolutely.
Them.
You're absolutely right. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried. I don't show it as much as others. I'm good at hiding it. The people close to me can see it, but I was more concerned that they were fixing to jump off a cliff, and they were not. I mean, they were very positive. And I don't want to say I'm surprised, but I'm almost embarrassed. But those are just the kind of people that we have, and it's a good team. A lot of the top ones were saying, "Hey, do we need to call anybody? Do we need to go help them? What can we do?" They weren't asking me for a handout. They were asking how they could help others, and that's just. Solid. And again, I will never forget that.
Solid. All right, Butch, what about franchise development? You seen the pipeline dry up totally? Everybody bail, run for the hills, or are they moving forward? What's the deal?
Not dried up. Obviously, we're taking a hit. There's some that are a little scared. Trying to start a business in these times are obviously tough. And then we have others that, like myself, that think that it's going to pass. And I believe in our government. I know some people don't care for Trump. I think he's a good person in place right now to help us out of this. He's a business guy, and he understands what we're going through. So I have to trust that he's going to help us along with the government. And I think there will be monies freed up after this is done to get into business or to help your business. And I think in another 6 months, we'll be better off than we were a couple months ago. And again, I think the country is pulled together. There's a lot of people that were probably enemies, but right now they're working together. And I think things like this happen sometimes, and there's some good that comes out of it.
So what are the franchise candidates that have been in process before recently? Are you seeing them take a slower pace? Are you seeing them just say, forget my number? Are they saying, I want to close on May 1st? What's the deal?
We have some that are scheduled for closing. One was going to close before the end of the month, and the only reason he's slowed up is just getting appraisal on some property that he was going to collateralize with us. Or with the bank. Some other ones just said, hey, give me a couple of weeks. Let's just make sure, the bottom doesn't drop out. And I understand it. And I don't think we've had any that just said, hey, we're bailing out. We haven't, and not even indicating that. The biggest thing was maybe just let's wait a week or two to make sure we're okay. And we've done things to, if they do start, we're going to relieve their monthly fees for the first several months to make sure they get going. Once the shows, we rely on home and garden shows and things like that a little bit. So once they get back up and running, but I'm going to do some things to assure their success if I can. And I'll go out there personally. I'm probably one of the few CEOs that actually go out to the franchisees personally, and I'll work their booth with them. I'll physically go help them on the jobs, do estimates. Anything I can do for them, and believe it or not, I enjoy it. I like it, so it's not a hard sell for me. I enjoy doing that. There's things that this business I'm I would say very good at, and there's others, if your computer don't work, they all know not to call me. But it's a fun business, so I truly still enjoy it after 4 years, and I like doing it, and I like helping them. So.
Well, Bush, you know what a hashtag is?
I do actually. I do know that one.
All right. What do you think about this hashtag? We're really promoting this thing out there because Don and I were talking. Don, founder of IFPG, and we felt like we were just talking about this industry is banding together so beautifully. Everybody helping one another and supporting and sharing best practices like we're doing here. And we're seeing so many, feeling so bad for the mom and pops out there that are struggling and not having the support structure in place. We just think this is a time that proves more than ever why somebody buys a franchise. And so we put a little hashtag together, franchising stronger together. And so you think that makes sense? Does that tell you what we're doing?
Absolutely. There's so many little scenarios you could use for that. The main thing is just letting everybody know it's a team effort. We are together. I had a lot of franchisees that basically reminded me, hey, Butch, we're all in this together, and we're going to make it. And heck, I was calling them to let them know that. But I truly felt better after. It was funny. Like I said, I had that 5-star system. And I started figuring out how to not give somebody 5 stars. and they were all, it was a together thing. That was a big common denominator word was together. And even my bank, I talked to them and they said, hey, we're in this together, and we'll all go down or we'll all go up, but we're going to be together. So it's very nice of them. I appreciated that they give me some assurance. So no, I believe that'd be a nice little slogan.
Well, brother, as we wrap up, any further advice you can give a franchisor, a franchisee, or just a business owner in general to navigate these crazy waters we're in right now?
I would just say, you got to stay positive, maybe think outside the box a little bit. Do everything you can. Again, people are going to remember you for what you do in a time of crisis more than any other time. Business is great. Everybody's going to dinners and everything is great. But when the chips are down and you still stay positive and you don't blame anybody, there's really no blame anywhere. Don't use excuses. Just get out there and do something. I don't care what it is. In our business, we can market pretty easily without having to go face to face. But do something. Check on neighbors if nothing else. See if they are okay. See if they need something. Again, a kind of a silly scenario. Before I met my wife, her father passed away, and she says, I can remember very clearly all her closest friends that didn't come to his funeral. And you just remember things when times are tough, good or bad. So do something good for somebody, whether it's business or personal, whatever, call and check on some people. There's a few people I've talked to in the last week that I didn't have the best relationship with, and this kind of put some of that aside, and it enabled me to talk to them on a caring basis instead of a situational basis, and it worked out good. So maybe take advantage of that, mend some old wounds.
Good advice, my friend. Yeah. Good advice indeed. Guys, we're joined by Butch Mogavera, Boulder Designs CEO. Thank you so much, Butch, for blessing the folks listening today.
Thank you, Red, and I appreciate what y'all's company has done. I get stuff from you literally daily or 2 or 3 times a day, and we followed that by trying to send stuff, reassurance to our franchisees. So what y'all have done there at IFPG is very remarkable. And me as somebody that if I don't believe it, I won't say it. And we've had our times that I would let you know if something wasn't exactly what I thought. Yep. And I think y'all have led the pack on this. I think you're out in front doing things that I see other companies like yourself not doing. So appreciate y'all, and you've definitely taken a great stand on this. And again, those are things that we'll remember, 20 years from now. So very much appreciated what y'all's company's done for us.
Thank you. You can show that appreciation next time I'm in Waco. Take me hog hunting.
I will.
Just kidding. All right, man.
We might have to eat them all.
We'll cook them together. All right. Take care. Be strong.